Welcome to the first training video in the series Raw Development with Sigma Photo Pro. In this first video I will not only introduce the program itself but also the preferences that should be set up prior to starting work on an image. As part of this I hope to give a feel for the difference between a program designed specifically to develop raw images and a program which is used to edit and optimize digital images. Sigma Photo Pro is the proprietary RAW development program specific to the RAW files, the so-called X3F files, from Sigma cameras. With most Sigma cameras, the photograph can be saved as a JPEG image or RAW data or both. When a JPEG is produced in the camera settings are indelibly represented within the image itself, and optimizing the image further can be quite difficult, or at least very limited. Often the JPEG represents a certain compromise, and certainly in our work the in-camera JPEG is simply used as a very quick control for focus, etc. With a RAW image, the camera settings can be adjusted as often as one would like, so that the best possible result can be obtained from the data. As these examples from Innes and myself show, it is important to understand that the development of a RAW image is like the production of the negative out of a film camera. Since it is not possible to make local changes or corrections within an image in SPP, the conversion to the final photograph, as it were, will be done in a second program, for example Adobe Photoshop, where, amongst other things, the dreaded sensor fleck can be removed. For this reason, the objective for the development of a RAW image in SPP is to obtain the best possible start point for this further work. If there is no need to make local changes, then of course the TIFF or JPEG data produced in SPP can be presented without further work, except perhaps for downscaling for presentation on the web, for example. This is dependent on the type of image and one's personal preferences. When SPP is open for the first time, then the preferences should be checked, here on a Mac under the menu point Sigma Photo Pro. A few key settings. Working color space should be set to Pro Photo RGB in order to ensure the best possible optimization of the colors found within an image. Having Last Save Folder as the standard for the default saving location can be very useful and ensures that if you are working on many pictures that the developed images will land in the same folder. It should be noted that if you work in a folder that contains a lot of X3F files as well as the converted TIFF images, then SPP can become unstable. Therefore, we usually save our TIFF files to a new folder. Applicable adjustment setting, X3F, is probably best set to apply previous settings, especially if many images that were taken under similar conditions are to be processed, since it is probable that they will receive similar processing within SPP. High speed mode. If your system is capable of supporting GPU acceleration, then this should be used, though please remember, in any event, SPP is not a quick program. Before I started SPP, I made two folders. One contains the X3F RAW files out of the camera, that is 2017-05 X3F, and an empty folder, 2017-05 TIFF, for the finished TIFF files. Having started SPP, I can choose the folder out of the menu tree on the left side which contains the X3F RAW files. This view can be modified with the buttons at the bottom of the screen. Please note that SPP is not particularly responsive, and rapidly clicking between different views can cause the program to crash. The size of the preview or thumbnail can be adjusted, as well as to whether the EXIF data is visible. When a particular image is chosen, limited EXIF data is also displayed at the top of the screen. At the top on the left are several control elements. The Save button is marked with JPEG TIFF. More to this in a later video. I stands for Info, and you can use this to show the full EXIF data for an image, which can also be copied as text. The remaining buttons are self-explanatory and are only mentioned here for completeness. Rotate image anti-clockwise, rotate image clockwise, slideshow, print, highlight image, which is confirmed with a small symbol, and highlight for black and white. This means that when the image review window is opened, the raw developer starts with the black and white image review screen rather than the color review image screen. Then protection against delete and delete. At the top on the right are two buttons which turn the two main menus in the image review window on and off. A double click on a pre-chosen image starts the image review screen, color as standard. Similarly, with a right mouse click on the image, then Review Images Color can be chosen from the menu. The various commands under this right-click menu correspond to the actions and buttons at the top of the screen that I have just described. Working with an image and saving the results will be covered in a separate video. Thank you and good luck with your Sigma camera and SPP.